Somewhere in the Cascade Mountains, 2 tents were surgically removed from their own stakes in the dead of night, and the people sleeping inside them never heard a single sound. Last summer, a group of friends decided to spend a long weekend deep in the Cascade Mountains, far from cell service, far from roads, and apparently far from anyone who could help them when things started going wrong. The trip started perfectly. They hiked in about 8 miles, found a gorgeous clearing near a stream, set up their 3 tents in a triangle formation, cooked dinner over a fire, and went to sleep under one of the clearest skies any of them had ever seen. When Marcus woke up at around 3 in the morning to use the bathroom, he noticed something odd. The tent next to his was gone. Not collapsed, not blown over, gone. No poles, no fabric, no stakes in the ground, just flattened grass where it had been sitting hours earlier. He figured he was disoriented. Wrong campsite angle. Maybe still half asleep. He went back to his own tent and lay there convincing himself everything was fine. It was not fine. At dawn, when everyone emerged, they realized 2 of the 3 tents had vanished completely. The 4 people who had slept in those tents were standing around the remaining tent looking absolutely rattled. Nobody had heard anything. No animals, no wind strong enough to move anything, no footsteps, nothing. Here is where it gets genuinely disturbing. When they looked at the ground where the missing tents had been, the stakes were still in the dirt. Every single stake, still pressed firmly into the earth, still with the guy lines attached. The tents themselves had been removed cleanly from around the stakes and ropes, almost surgically. Now your brain immediately goes to a logical explanation, right? Other hikers playing a prank, animals with bizarre behavior, sleepwalking, but none of those hold up. To remove a tent from its stakes without waking the people inside, in complete silence in the dark, would require a level of coordination and deliberateness that is genuinely unsettling to think about. The group packed up what they had left and hiked out immediately. They reported it to the Forest Service. Rangers went back in and found no sign of the tents, no trash, no tracks beyond what the group themselves had left. The tents never turned up. Now skeptics will say there is always an explanation, and maybe they are right. Maybe some elaborate prank was pulled by strangers who spent hours in the dark dismantling nylon shelters without making a single sound. Maybe the stake story got exaggerated over time. Memory does strange things, especially under stress. But here is what I keep coming back to. These were experienced campers. They were not new to this. They knew what their campsite looked like, and every single one of them walked away from that mountain with the same unsettled feeling they could not explain away no matter how hard they tried. Whatever took those tents did not want to be seen, did not want to be heard, and apparently did not want anyone sleeping comfortably in those mountains ever again. Sleep well tonight, and maybe double check your tent stakes before you do.